Hi everybody, it's Jillian from HB Pilates and I'm here with Madison, and today we're going to do a simple short standing exercise. So grab a chair, grab a couch, something comfortable to hang on to. Let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to start facing towards our chair. I want you to be standing on top of your feet with your heels lined up with your sits bone. So a little bit more narrow than the width of your body, hanging onto the chair lightly or a little bit more aggressively if you need help with balance. So we're going to lift up tall in our spine and we're going to press all the way up to our toes. And then we're going to very gently lower back down. So we're going to exhale as we lift up to our toes, and then we're going to inhale as we lower back down. Thinking about our weight going in between our big toe and our second toe. So as you're lifting, not sinking into the ankle, not shifting out to the outer edge of the foot. Nice and neutral. We exhale as we lift, going as high as you can comfortably and pain-free. Good. We have 4 more. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. 3 more times. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. 2 more times. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Last one, we're going to lift up to our toes and we're going to hold. Right away, we're going to go into a little balance. So depending on how comfortable you are, see if you can lighten the grip on your chair ever so slightly. Maybe down to 2 fingers, maybe down to 1 finger, maybe down to no fingers. We're going to hold here for 5 seconds, for 4 seconds, for 3 seconds, for 2, for 1, and we gently lower all the way down. We're going to prance through our feet just a little bit. So pressing the right toes forward. Again, really watch out for sickling the foot or collapsing at the ankle. We're going to press up to 2 toes, and then we press all the way back down. And we press up and press, up and press, up and press. Good. Really pressing through your feet. I want you to feel that little stretch. Again, pressing between your big toe and your second toe. And we go for 8 and 7 and 6 and 5. Good. 4 more, and 3, and 2. Last one. Good. Setting both feet down. Good. We're going to turn to the side so that our left hand is on the chair here. We're going to start in a neutral position. So lifting up in our lower abdominals, we are going to shift our weight ever so slightly into our left leg, but try not to sink into your hips. So really lifting up out of that left leg, hanging on lightly instead of a death grip on your chair. We're going to take that right foot, flex your foot, bring your right heel so it's in line with your left toes. It's just slightly in front of your body. We're going to exhale, press the leg out to the side. Inhale, lower it down. So lifting up in your low belly as you press and lower. Good. Again, exhale, press. Inhale, lower. Exhale, press. Inhale, lower. Good. Eyes are up, lifting up out of that left hip. Exhale, press. Inhale, lower. We have 4 more. Press and lower. 3 more. Press and lower. 2 more. Press and lower. Last one. Good. Now we're going to point the toes, bring that right leg in front of us. So it's going to start right in front of us. We're going to draw half circles on the floor. I want you to pretend I was pulling your ankle away from your hip so you feel length in the leg. We're going to slide the toes all the way around to the back. And then we're going to slide the toes all the way around to the front. And then we're going to slide the toes all the way around to the back. And then we slide all the way to the front. So really lengthening the leg as it goes out and around. And then it comes back in. And we go out and around, and we're coming back in. Good. 3 more. Out and around, coming back in. 2 more times. Out and around, back in. Last time, out and around, back to the front. Good. Now we're going to keep the leg extended in front of us. Hover your foot right up off the floor, just 2 inches. Now you're going to bend your knee, pulling your foot towards your ankle, and then you're going to extend your leg out to straight. And you're going to bend your knee in, extending it out to straight. So we inhale as we bend, we exhale as we extend. As you're bending and extending, try to keep the upper portion of your leg still. Focus just on hinging at your knee. And we have 4, exhale, press. 3, exhale, press, growing taller in your posture. Exhale, press. Last one, press, and gently set that leg down. Good, now we're going to turn towards our chair. Same leg that we just used, our right leg. It's going to go back behind us. For this next exercise, I want you to hinge forward slightly at your hips, maybe even bending the left knee just a tiny bit. You can have your hands on the chair. If this is uncomfortable, you can drop down to your elbows. We have the toes back behind us here, and I want you to start with an isometric contraction of your glutes. So I want you to squeeze your butt muscle until you feel that activation, and then you're going to hover your leg just right up off the floor. Then you lower your leg down, relax the activation. So you're going to squeeze first, hover the leg up, lower the leg down, and release. Again, squeeze the glute, hover the leg up, lower the leg down, and release. Our goal is not to clench into that low back as you're lifting. It's to focus on working the back side of the body. So those hamstrings and those glutes. Squeeze, lift, lower, release. 2 more. Squeeze, lift, lower, release. Last one. Squeeze, lift, lower, and release. Good. Bring it in. Give it just a little wiggle. We're going to go ahead and turn to the other side. So we are going to face backwards, but you're going to put your right hand on the chair, starting with your feet spread out. Slight shift into your right hip, but don't sink down. We're going to lift up tall. Your left toes come to meet your your left heel to your right toes, and we're going to press the leg to the side and then draw it in. So we exhale as we press. We inhale as we draw in. Exhale, press. Inhale, lift. Keeping your low belly lifted. So while you're doing this exercise, lifting up in your low tummy, ribs are down so you're not sinking and swaying to the side. Stay nice and neutral in your posture. Good, we have 4 more. Exhale, press, and down. 3 more, press, and down. 2 more, press, and down. Last one. Good, now point your left toes in front of you. We're going to draw a half circle with our toes. So lift up in that right hip, lift up in your belly. We're going to circle around to the back. And then we circle around to the front. So a lot of times when we're doing this exercise, I see the leg kind of bend to the back. See if you can keep the leg fully extended and really lengthen out through that leg, through that hip. Reaching to the back, reaching to the front. We're going to go 4 more. Reaching back, reaching front. 3 more. Reaching back, reaching front. 2 more times. Reaching back, reaching front. Last one. Reaching back, reaching front. Good. Keep that leg in front of you, just hanging onto the chair as Madison is. You're going to extend that left leg forward and then bend the knee, foot to ankle. Extend the leg forward, bending it in. So you're staying nice and tall. We're still using our left leg, keeping that left thigh exactly where it is, hinging right at the knee. Again, extending and bending. And extending and bending. 4 more. Extend and bend. Grow taller. 3. Good. And bend 2 more times. Extend and bend. Last one. Extend and bend and bring it in. Give it a wiggle. All right, turn back towards your chair. We're going to use our left leg again. So again, a small hinge at your hips here. Your spine is really long. Small soft bend in your right knee. Left leg reaches out. So we're squeezing that glute, contracting the muscle. We extend the leg up, lower the leg down, and then release. Squeeze, lift, lower, release. Again, 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 squeeze, lift, lower, release. 2 more. Squeeze, lift, lower, release. Last one. Squeeze, lift, lower, and release. Good. Bring the leg in. Last thing, we're going to do a little bit bigger motion now that our legs and our hips are nice and warm. Slightly widen your stance here. We're going to work on a squat, so we're going to make sure we're really hinging at our hips, using the chair for this one. So I want you to think about activating your core. Your ribs and your hips draw together. Very first thing I want to see is that small hinge at your hips, tiny bend in your knees, and then we're going to come back up. So hanging onto the chair. If you prefer to do this with no chair, you can reach your arms forward. You can have your arms on your hips. You can have your arms down, hinging back, and then standing back up. While you're bending, make sure your knees don't collapse. So really sitting back into your heels, knees are slightly pressing out, feet are fully gripped into the floor. If you find that it's uncomfortable for this one, make your motion smaller. So small motions are good ways to decrease if you're feeling a little bit of discomfort. Sitting back, standing back up. 2 more times. Sitting back, standing back up. Last time. Hinging, sitting back, standing back up. Good. Walk those feet back together. All right. Thank you for joining us today for just a quick, brief standing Pilates chair sequence. Again, my name is Jillian. I'm the owner of HB Pilates and Fitness, and this is Madison, one of our instructors. We have been teaching this Pilates chair class for, 8 years? Long time. So this is a class of ours we've taught for many, many years. We'll incorporate some equipment. We know some of our clients at home right now do have equipment available. So this is just a quick, short standing version. We'll come back to you soon with some more videos.